Peace, peace, peace. What's up? What's good? What's happening? We're going live here. Today is a special day. We got to get everybody locked in here. So bear with me for a minute. Okay. Peace. There it is. Okay, we live. What up? What up? Peace, peace, peace. What's up? Today's a special day. Today is a special day for Design Your Life podcast. Today is a special day for me in general as an author because today is the day. Today is the day that the book goes live. All right. So I am just bringing in YouTube. I'm bringing in Facebook. I'm bringing in IG. Peace, peace, peace. What's up? What's good? What's happening? Man, today is all about this right here. Today is all about this right here. Design your life, live your dream. And I just want to start off with just thanking you for being here. But I want to give everybody a chance to jump in. All right. Peace, peace, peace. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Man, this is dope. Okay. So, first of all, happy Juneteenth. Today is Juneteenth. For some of you, it's about 8 o'clock in the morning. Pacific time, it is whatever time it is you are at in the world. And I just want to welcome you. Today, listen, man, today is an extremely important day for me and for you, for a lot of reasons. But today is the launch of Design Your Life, Live Your Dream. And it's been a journey. Let's just say that it's been a journey. And I got some things that I want to talk to you about that we're going to roll through. But I just want to just say thank you for your support. Thank you for your support. Thank you for your ear. Thank you for your energy. Thank you for the positivity, right? And even thank you to the doubters, the naysayers and the dream slayers that said it couldn't be done. You know, I didn't have too many. At least I didn't have them telling me in my face. But thank you. Peace and love to everybody out there. So what I want to do is, since it is Juneteenth, I do want to start off just with a quick little Juneteenth fact, right? I'm not sure if you knew this, but Juneteenth had been celebrated under like several different names, which I didn't know. It's been called Freedom Day, Jubilee Day, Liberation Day, Second Independence Day, and Emancipation Day, to name just a few. So, you know, today is a day that we celebrate freedom. You know, now there's a lot of different things that we could talk about around Juneteenth and, you know, the negativity in terms of, you know, how the slaves really had already been free, technically, but it was delayed for so many different reasons. But, you know, this is a day that we celebrate just freedom in general. And really, this book is about freedom, the freedom to be able to do the things that you want to do. You know what I mean? Based around like your dreams, your goals, your aspirations in life. So, you know, I just want to start off with that. And then before we get, just to kind of give everybody an opportunity to jump in, I do want to touch on the 60-day challenge. So I don't know if I didn't let that 60-day challenge go. All right. So for those who don't know, the 60-day challenge was this. I started today, actually is the day that I ended. So I started about 60 days ago. And the idea was, I'm not really about weight loss or anything like that, just kind of like living a healthier lifestyle. So the idea was I was going to drink a healthy shake, a green shake in the morning, have my biggest meal at the middle of the day, and then have another shake at night. And I'm going to keep it real. It was hard first. The first like couple of weeks, it was just hard. You go through those like time frames where you're like really, really hungry. And you know, I was working out and along with doing the 60-day challenge in terms of how I was eating. So, you know, then we had the baby. Now, for those of you who big shout out to my little girl Adia. We had the baby and a lot of things shifted So there were some challenges in there, but my cousin, my accountability partner, he asked me, well, do I have like a weight, goal? So I was like, I don't really have a weight goal, but let's just come up with one, right? So when I started, I was at 186, 186 pounds, right? Which I have never really lost or gained a lot of weight throughout my entire life. Um, but 186 for me is heavy. 186 for me is heavy. At one point, I think last year I might even have been 189, but 186 is heavy. So I'm like, all right, let me just try to get to 175. All right, 175. That was the goal. And as of today, weighed in at ding ding ding, weighed in at 176. 176. And then maybe last week I was at 174. So it's just and the crazy thing is with this book, there is a structure and a plan. There is a process for designing your life, and I followed this process. And through following this process with my 60-day challenge, I reached my goal, and it was just a good feeling. But I will say that there were challenges throughout the process for sure. Whether it was eating and skipping meals and, had the baby, of course, so things just kind of like shifted around. So what I wanted to do didn't necessarily happen the way I wanted it to happen. But because I had made that intentional decision to do it and I kept on pushing through it all, I reached my goals. So that 60-day challenge was like super dope for me. It was a great experience. I encourage you to. I don't even want to call it diet or fast. You can call it fast, whatever you want to call it, whatever name you want to put on it. But I encourage you to challenge yourself in that kind of way and just see how you feel. So the 60-day challenge is over, but I'm not gonna go back to the way I was eating. I never really was a big eater, but just being intentional about what I'm putting in my body is extremely important. So 60-day challenge, try it out, see what happens. You never know. Some of y'all think, oh, I can't do it. I need my chips. No, you don't need that stuff. You really don't need it, right? So love yourself enough to love yourself, right? You only get one body. And, a lot of times we tear it up doing all kinds of stuff. So 60-day challenge. So, well, let's just jump into it. Let's see here. Who we got here? Peace. What's up? What's going on? So yeah, we about to jump into the nuts and bolts of what today is. So today, first of all, this is a crazy week for me. So I had Father's Day, and then I had my wife and my kids. They like treated me to a bunch of cool stuff, and then yesterday I had a cool little massage. Today the book launches. Tomorrow's my birthday. Saturday I have another event. So today is like this week has been extremely dope for me. So what I want to do is, first of all, let me start with why I wrote the book. How about that? So the reason I wrote this book, Design Your Life, Live Your Dream, the reason I wrote this book is because, as a coach and a trainer, as a father, as a mentor, I have these conversations a lot of times with young people, and even when I was working at Job Corps years and years ago, I would have these conversations with young people just around like what your future is going to look like, and just the importance of just being intentional, but just like thinking about it. You don't have to go crazy, but like in the beginning, but just thinking about it. Because I know when I was young, I didn't think about those things at all. I just was living every day by day. So I thought about the conversations that I would have with some of these young people, and that really wasn't why I necessarily wrote it, but that was a part of it. I have an accountability partner, my cousin. Big shout out to Nikai Bay. Um, he told me years ago that I had a book in me, and I wasn't sure. I wasn't really ready to start that process, but just through our conversations, that was something that came out of that. So, man, initially I just started writing down some ideas and thoughts in terms of what I thought I might wanted to share because I had no idea. I mean, this designing life, live your dream. I didn't think about exactly what that was going to look like. I didn't know exactly what it was going to look like, but I just started out with just writing down some ideas and thoughts in terms of what I normally talk to people about, and what kind of message I thought would be a really impactful message as far as the future. Another thing is, I thought about me, right? So when I was, you know, 12 years old, let's just say, when I was 12 years old, I used to spend all this time in the basement, dribbling the basketball, just working on my game, right? Every single day, for hours, weeks, turning to years, right? And I would watch these basketball games while I was down there in the basement working. And I just remember now, I remember like just being locked in on the game, locked in on what I was doing, but that was pretty much it, right? And at that point, you watch TV, you just watching the games, you don't see anybody other than the players specifically that even look like you. So it was like I didn't really think about the future. I didn't envision what that could look like. And I always kind of kept myself in a box of what I could accomplish. And I never looked outside the lines, and I never thought about what was going to happen when the basketball stopped dribbling, when it stopped bouncing. I never was good enough to make the NBA or anything like that. I played some basketball, but I wasn't good enough to go pro and all that kind of stuff, right? But I never thought about what I could do to stay in the game that I love. And the crazy thing is, all those years sitting down in the basement, dribbling that basketball, it was basically right in my face, outside the lines, outside the basketball lines on the court. All the different positions, the writers, the commentators, the coaches, all these different camera people, all these different people. And I just never looked at life in that way. And that's a big part of why I wanted to share this message, because a lot of young people, man, a lot of young bucks, you're not really thinking about, what that's going to be, what that's going to look like. And even though it's your dream, the thing that you love and could do all day, at a certain point, you kind of like, you know what, I just need to go ahead and find a job, right? And that job turns into like the 40-year thing that you hate doing every single day, right? Where you join Thank God It's Friday crew and hate Mondays. So that's a part of the reason why I wrote the book. I definitely had when I wrote it, I had three people in my mind, now four, and that's Ava, my daughter, my son Boaz, and my nephew Kaim. I really just had them in mind in terms of what I wanted to share, and what would be important for them to learn early. You know what I'm saying, and not get it late. So that was a really big part of it. Now, of course, Adia, because when I wrote it, I wasn't having a baby, so that was a big part of why I actually wrote this book. And what I wanted to do was, I've read books. I've never been a big reader, right? But I've read books, and some of the books are just boring, man. It's just like it's like a lecture. So when I wrote it, I was like, all right, I don't want it to be a lecture. It can't be boring. I don't do boring. I can't be that way, right? So what I wanted to do was make it a conversation. I just want to make it a conversation, like you sitting down chopping it up with me. And that's exactly what it is. It's a conversation. We're just sitting down talking, and we walking through a bunch of different points. So man, that's like really the backstory in terms of why I actually wrote it. And I'm excited to share it with you. So, again, welcome. Today is the day I launched my book. I'm extremely excited about it. Design Life, Live Your Dream. I'll tell you a little bit later where you can find it, where you can grab it. You can find it in a couple different ways. You can get it through audio. I did an audio version, paperback version, and ebook, and you can get it on Apple iTunes. Said I was going to share it later, but I'll share it now. Apple iTunes, Audible, books, Amazon, of course, and KDP. So there it is. So what I want to do now is I actually want to share I want to share a little bit with you from the actual book. All right. So I'm not going to read a ton, but so this is what the book looks like. And I'll talk about some challenges too, because a part of my challenge, you can actually see it right there where it says not for resale. I'm gonna tell you why it even says that. Not your book won't say that for sure, but I'll tell you why it says that in a little bit. But I want to share with you a little bit from the actual book itself. All right, so let's just go with chapter one. Let's go with chapter one. All right. Chapter one. Unlock your dream. Follow your dreams. They know the way. And that's a quote by Kobe Yamada. If the key to a life worth living is your unique dream, then that's where we need to start. Some are blessed to know exactly what they want to do in life from the beginning. They know what drives and pushes them. They know what they're passionate about. But everybody ain't got it like that. If we're really keeping it real, most don't have it like that. So the first thing we need to do is walk you through how to find your dream. The process is pretty easy. You just got to be willing to put some real focus and intentional time into it. Please believe me when I tell you, you're not going to click a button or do a Google search to find your dream. And it ain't going to come knock on your door or jump in your lap. It's a process. I broke it down into 3 steps for you. Step 1. And I wasn't sure if I was going to give you step 1, but I'm going to give you a quick peek into step 1. Step 1, think and make a list. Think and make a list. Now, there's a whole process through the think and make a list part of it, but you got to sit down and just think about the things that you're actually into. You probably can hear that too. I got my little tribe up there. But you got to sit down and think about the things that you're actually into. That's where you got to start. You got to start with the dream, but you got to sit with yourself and give yourself some intentional time. Make a list of the things that you're into, the things that you want to know more about, the things that you're curious about, because I truly believe that it is about the actual dream, your dream. Think about this, right? When you go into a store, how many times you ever see somebody in the store, they looking like they just sad, mad, and upset because they're in a place that they really don't want to be. How many people, and no disrespect to anybody on a 9-to-5, anybody who is, say got a landscaping business or anything like that, but most people that you run into are doing things that they don't want to do. They've taken their dreams and they've thrown them away. Why should you do that? There is no reason for you to do it outside of things like fear, outside of listening to the naysayers and the dream slayers telling you can't do it, right? So the first part of it, got to start with your dream, but you got to start with making a list and just realizing what it is that you're even into. They don't teach you in school most times the importance of self-reflection, thinking about what it is that you like, and sometimes what happens is we start thinking and looking in other places for direction, for people to tell us what it is that we should do, what we should like, where we should go, how we should be, those types of things. So that's the first step. So that's a sneak peek into chapter 1. I will say this too, that I also, when I wrote the book, I didn't want it to be too long. 500 page book is gonna, you see 500 pages, like, man, I'm not trying, that's too long. I can't do it. So the book is actually only 92 pages. The audio book is a little bit less than 3 hours, about 2 hours, 44 minutes, something like that. So I didn't want to give you too much, but within those 92 pages is some power. It's powerful information, it's powerful concepts, and it's some stuff that's really simple to keep it real. It's simple, but it's things that we just don't put enough time into, especially early. You gotta get started early. You know what I mean? If you get started early, you make your stumbles, you fall, you get up, you fall, you get up, and then you can continue to keep going. So that's chapter one, a little bit of chapter one, and I just want to kind of pop that into you a little bit. So let me talk to you a little bit about the challenges. All right. So some of the challenges that I experienced. So first of all, um, you know, the actual writing process, because I have a family, and so that the writing process was a challenge because you got to find the time to actually sit down and do it. So it started with just some really late nights, and it also went into some early mornings. For those who've been with me, I get up at 3 a.m. and 3 a.m. you just rock and rolling. You get into your bag, and you're just writing, and you're into your thoughts, and it's just a repetitive thing, and it's not a Monday through Friday thing either. You know what I mean? Like, I'm getting up on Saturday mornings at 3 a.m. And so that part was a challenge, just the actual time to sit down and get it done. And then after you actually write it, so I don't have authors in my family. I know a couple of people who have written books, but I don't have authors in my families that can tell me, okay, this is what you do, this is how you do it. And so it was the process after that was a challenge as well, because when you create a book, and I'm using Amazon, when you create an actual physical book, there's a lot of different processes that actually go with it. You got to get it edited. You have the book art, and you're working with different types of people. Some things that you can do yourself, but a lot of it, I just chose to do on my own. And then the actual editing of the manuscript, what that actually looks like, the actual words on the page, like what should that look like? It's not like you just open up a Word doc and you just start typing in and then you just print it out. So it's learning the process of what a book actually looks like, should look like, so that it comes out in a professional way. So learning that process was extremely challenging. And then the process for doing the audio version is like total opposite, right? Because now you're dealing with the vocals of it. And for those who don't know, the audio book, I did it myself. I mean, in terms of, I recorded my own voice. It is my voice. When you do an audio book, there is the option of having someone else, like an actor, like read the book, right? But I didn't want to do that, because if it is a conversation, I need to be able to talk to you in my words and my slang, and put my spin on it, and I don't feel like anybody could really duplicate me. To just keep it real, I didn't think anybody could do it the way that I would do it. So that's what I chose to do, and I felt good. I got some input from some people in terms of what that should look like. I shared it with some folks, and got some good feedback. So I'm really proud of that. So and then when you do the ebook version of it, let's just talk about the book art. You got the book art for the audio version, the book art for the ebook, and then the book art for the paperback. It's not like you just send a picture and they just print it out. No, all those things are different. The dimensions are different. The requirements are different. So that was definitely a challenge in terms of just creating the actual book after writing it. And then, and I'm still dealing with this challenge right now. Let's just be real. So the reason why, so it says not for sale, right? So, you have an option of getting an author's copy, and the author proof copy is basically just so you can look at it and make sure that it's the way you want it to be, right? So Amazon has this process that you have to go through. It's like a review process, and the review process can take a few days, and I'm not going to take you through all of the details of it, but there were several things within that process that there's no way I was going to figure out on my own. So I submitted it after I thought everything was correct. It still didn't go through. I contacted them back. They allegedly told me what was wrong. I fixed what they said was wrong. I submitted it, and I went back. I'm like, damn, it's still like in review. And I went back and called them again, and it still was another issue. So long and short of it is, the review process went longer than expected for several different reasons, and as a result, it delayed the hard copies, the actual paperbacks, like the physical books. Like you can go online right now and order it. It'll be there in like 2 days, 3 days, whatever it is. And same thing with the audio ebook and all that. That's instantaneous. But my actual physical copies are delayed because this review process was delayed, which could potentially affect this event that I have on Saturday. So we'll see. So that was a challenge. It still is a challenge. But see, this is another thing that we talk about in the book, right? You're going to deal with challenges. It's a part of it. It's a part of the process. You're going to fall, you're going to fail, you're going to embarrass yourself, you're going to do all kinds of stuff, but you have to get started. You have to get started. And for me to wait until things were perfect, even this date of Juneteenth, initially I was going to release the book on March 18th, which is my son's birthday. But I just wasn't ready. So when I decided I wasn't ready, I was like, I got to come up with a firm date regardless of whatever is in front of me. I just got to go ahead and do it. And like my cousin says, we talk about in our accountability partnership meeting sometimes is launch unprepared. So I just had to I'm doing it on this day. And June 19th, Juneteenth felt like a really good day to do it. So, with that commitment, I wasn't going to back off of that commitment because of some of these delays. But the challenges are going to be there. It's a part of the process of doing anything that you're going to do, anything that's worth it. There are going to be challenges. You're going to have stumbling blocks. There's things that are going to get in your way. You cannot allow it to deter you. You can't let it shake you. You can't let it knock you off your square. Keep pushing, keep moving, and keep rocking and rolling, and keep moving forward. That's the thing, is consistently move forward. The 60-day challenge wasn't perfect. There's days where, there's probably a couple of days in there where I just didn't do my 1, 2, 3 step process. But I got through it. So the challenges are going to be there. I just want to make sure that you understand that. So yeah, those are some of the things that I went through. There are still some challenges kind of moving forward in terms of things that I want to do with the book. But I got my book, baby. I got my book. Hey, I got my book, and I wrote it for you. Now, I think someone was asking me, like, who did I write this book for, right? So I wrote this book. If I had to say it was a target, peace, what's up? My man Daryl in the house. If I had to say I wrote this book for anyone, I appreciate you, man. For sure, never give up. If I had to say I wrote this book for anyone, if I had to say like a demographic, I'm gonna say 13 to 19-year-olds, right? Because that's like that age group. When I was that age, I needed the answers to questions I didn't know I should ask. I needed mentorship. I needed guidance, even though I was hard headed and I didn't want to listen, and I wasn't, I thought I knew it all. So if I had to say that I had, a demographic, it's the 13 to 19-year-olds. That's that really crucial space where you kind of like formulating like ideas. Oh yeah, let's get into the high schools for sure. That's the plan. Listen, this is the beginning, brother. This is the we got big plans, big plans. So yeah, for sure, the high school. So 13 to 19-year-olds, that's like that age group where it's really crucial. It's a crucial time that you could waste or that you can take advantage of and jump light years ahead of everybody else. So that's kind of who I had in mind, right? But realistically, the concepts, my daughter needs these concepts, and she's 5 years old. When I was 25, 26, 30 years old, these concepts were definitely things that I could benefit from. So really the ideas, the concepts, and let me just say this too. There's nothing new under the sun, right? There's just different ways that you spend different things, right? So if anybody there's no like secret sauce. I'm not telling you like, oh, I got the exact way. This is something new. This is something that I'm pull out the sky. No, these are not new concepts, but they are powerful concepts that we don't talk about enough. And it's also my version of what these things look like, what they sound like, what they feel like, how you can approach them. And I definitely feel like, although they are not new concepts, there's a different spin that nobody's going to put on it the way that I do it. So it's extremely important for you to understand that as well. So anybody, from 6 to 60, 6 to 86, you can benefit from these concepts and these principles. It's just a matter of how you approach it, right? If you approach it from a standpoint of I know it all, I've heard that before, then you're not going to benefit from it. But if you look at it as an opportunity for you to learn and grow, listen, it's something that we can all benefit from. You know what I mean? Method of many, principles are few. May change, Methods may change, but principles never do. I love that. And that's not me right now. That's my man Daryl, my insurance guy. Make sure if you need that insurance, check out Daryl. Go IG at Daryl, my insurance guy. He'll hook you up. But my man Daryl says method are many, principles are few. Methods may change, but principles never do. I think he might have had some rhymes into him because that's a bar right there. So yeah, I just want to make sure I point that out, that this is not just for, the 13 to 19-year-old, but if you're 13 to 19 years old and you don't know exactly what it is that you want to do, and there is nothing wrong with that. But if you have no idea what the future looks like for you, you need this book. You need it. Think about, especially my seniors. If you were a senior in high school, if you were a junior in high school, in your mind, you're like, okay, the next step is to go to college, and you have no idea what you want to do. If you have no real grasp on the things that light your fire, you need this book. Because what's going to happen potentially is you're going to go to school and then pay money to start figuring out the things that you could start figuring out now in terms of your passions, your dreams, and the things that you love to do. And that's where you should be putting your focus. And so many people don't do that. It's just like, all right, 12th grade is over, boom, I gotta go to college, and I'll figure it out from there. But so that's extremely important. Okay, all right, let me share some good books I recommend. Okay, word. I got some good books I recommend. Okay, my book, of course. I got a book recommendation for you: 3 Feet from Gold and Risk Forward. 3 Feet from Gold and Risk Forward. Boom, check that one out as well. Because one thing that I want you to also understand is, although there's nothing new under the sun, it's kind of the way I approach training and coaching, right? I don't need to have all the answers, right? I read and did a bunch of research from a lot of different people, but I don't need to have all the answers. So, use my book, use other resources, do everything that you can to get all the information that's going to help you as you move forward. You know what I mean? This is not like Coach Bay rules and book is the only way. I believe 1000% that reading this book is going to help you in terms of your future and designing a life that you want. But yeah, it's not just one way. And look, you got me. Can you share an excerpt from your book? I shared one, and that's where we're going. We right on the same page. All right, so I'm going to share. You know what? Let me see. I'm gonna share. I'm going to share something from chapter 2, and let me ask you if you want a story, or if you want to just get into you know what, I'll give you both. How about that? I'll give you a story, and I'll give you a little bit of a concept. All right, so I'll just start with let's start here. All right, I'm gonna give you a story too. All right, be careful that you're not being hard-headed. You see, sometimes we just hard-headed. If somebody tries to give us structure or habits to move by, we ain't trying to hear it. First thing we do is stick our fingers in our ears because we don't want somebody telling us what to do. You know what I mean? Not even giving the information or another way to move a chance. That kind of attitude will hold you back 100% of the time. Mess around by being hard-headed and miss out on a jewel that'll change your life. Sometimes you could be so smart you're being dumb and blocking your own blessings. They used to say a hard head makes a soft behind because when you're hard-headed, you might get your butt whipped. When I was a kid, I liked fire and playing with matches sometimes. My parents told me not to play with matches, and they explained how dangerous it could be. One day we were visiting friends of the family, and I was in the basement playing with some other kids. I looked down, saw some matches on the floor, and thought, be a good idea to strike a couple. Oh, wow, that was pretty cool. So the genius in me thought it was a good idea to turn up the fun and burn a small piece of paper. I was probably 10 years old at the time and didn't realize that the strong smell of burning matches and paper might actually travel through the house. You should have seen my face when I looked up and saw my mother looking at me with fireballs coming out her eyes. Let's just say that didn't work out real good for me. Not too long after seeing those fireballs in her eyes, my butt was on fire and ended up a little softer after I got it whipped for being hard-headed. And if you're not careful, life will whip your behind good too. Habits are a part of the process of making your dream real. Develop habits, but not just any old kind of habits. I'm talking about those championship habits that'll get you through the marathon. Rituals, on the other hand, are like the secret ceremony you perform to honor your goals. It's important that you intentionally set aside special time for yourself, your goals, and your dreams. Rituals give a sense of purpose and meaning to your actions. It's the fuel you need to keep you running. The race is going to be long, and when you lose your first win, you're going to need some more gas to keep you rolling until you hit that second win. Let your rituals be the fuel. So that's just a little piece of chapter 2, Unleash Your Goals. And like I said, it's 92 pages. It's not that long. And I did that purposefully because I'll lose some if it's just too long. So I do encourage you to get the book and just really dive into the concepts because they are powerful concepts. And if you have any suggestions, if you have any comments, please share those with me because I definitely want to hear from you. Okay, so where are we? If you have any questions, throw them out there as well. Like I said, as far as the book's format, you can find the book in paperback on Amazon. There's an ebook version of it in KDP. There's an audiobook version of it. Like I said, the audiobook for me, I was talking to my pop the other day. He wants an actual physical copy, but he wants an audio version because he's not sitting down reading books. So I just wanted to make sure I met you where you are so that you can still get these concepts in. And let me share my goal. My goal is to share these concepts with 1 million people. That's my goal, to share it with 1 million people. And, some people think I saw some face 1 million. Oh my God, 1 million people. And I can get that done, but I can't get it done. I can only get it done with your help. So I'm asking everybody to not only just get the book, and it'd be dope if you bought the book just for yourself to grow and to learn, right? But I want you to get the book and also share a copy with someone else. See, especially as we are older, there's somebody that that's stuck. There's somebody that needs inspiration, motivation, guidance, a little bit of a push. And, just like in the coaching space, I hear parents, oh, I told him the exact same thing, but he listens to you. Okay, well, that's how it goes sometimes. You know what I mean? You have to be willing to share with other people, but you also have to be willing to give some of that power over. I can't have all the answers. You can't have all the answers. So let's start a conversation. So I want you to buy one, share one, in the version that works best for whoever you're sharing it with. And we will reach 1 million people. So that's the idea. That's the goal, is to reach 1 million people. And like I said, you can get it on Amazon, iTunes, Audible, Kindle, I made it reasonable. I wasn't going to necessarily share the cost points, but and some of the stuff will change because I'm finding out through the process that some of these platforms will change pricing. But at Amazon, you're gonna get it for $9.99. iTunes, you get it for $4.99. Audible books, you get it for $4.86, and Kindle, you're gonna get it for $2.99. So for less than the cost of a fast food meal, you could change somebody's life. You can help spark that thing that gets them moving in the right direction. And I think it was the Dalai Lama that said, ask like, what's your purpose in life? And the purpose in life, and please forgive me if I had that person wrong, but the purpose in life is really to be happy. And a part of being happy is what you do every single day. What you do every single day, with whom you do it with, in the place that you do it. It's about being happy. And how much more happy can you be if you are doing something that you love every single day? I just can't see any other happiness in terms of what you do on a daily basis. Hey, that's what's up. That's what's up. Appreciate you. I don't see what other form of happiness you could have outside of doing something that you actually love. You don't have to throw your dreams away. Even if you don't see people doing the thing that you love the most, doesn't mean that you can't do it. The question is this. This is the question. Whatever your dream is, whatever the thing is that you want to do, ask yourself a simple question. Is it possible? Is it possible? There's no authors in my family, but is it possible? Hell yeah, it's possible. It's possible. So if your dream is possible, it's possible for you. You have to do the work. And this book is going to kind of walk you through some of the steps so you don't have to figure it out on your own. But it's possible. So I want you to chase those dreams. I want you to move forward with those dreams, your passion, the thing that lights you up. And if you can do that every single day of your life, you will be happy. And it has nothing to do with money. The money's going to come by all means. Finance is extremely important in life and all. But imagine if you could marry the two. You marry the thing that you love with making money. Hey, now we doing something. Instead of going to the job, keep looking at your clock like, man, when I get off. You know what I mean? So I want you to think about that as you move forward. My tribe is up there calling me. So I'm going to go ahead and end this live. And I just want to say thank you for your support. Big shout out to Sophie. I appreciate you. Shout out to Daryl. Shout out to my cousin Shane, who I believe was the very first person to purchase the book. And shout out to everybody else out there who has supported me. But, if you want to do anything for me, don't do it for me. Do it for somebody else. Share it with somebody else. Read it. Make sure, hey, Coach Bay know what he's talking about. Make sure this isn't some just off the wall concepts. But if you find some value in what it is that you're reading, share it with someone else. Share it with someone else. All right. And remember, you have the ability to design your life and live a life worth living. You can design your life around your dreams, your passions, your goals, your talents. But you got to believe that you can do it. And if you can believe it, if you're willing to go through the steps to actually get it done, woo, life is a beautiful thing. All right. So I'm gonna get out of here. Thank you so much for your time. Tomorrow is another wonderful day. Tomorrow is my birthday, so my family has some stuff going on for my birthday, and also Saturday the NAACP has an event. And I also believe in the power of positivity and optimism. So although the physical copies have been delayed, I feel like they're gonna be there for me on Friday. And if not, then we're gonna keep on moving as well. But the NAACP does have an Juneteenth event that I am planning to be at, and I look forward to seeing you. If you have any questions, reach out to me. You can go to obedbay.com, OBEDBEY.com. It's real easy. You go to the landing page and you can order the book in whichever version, so you don't have to search all over for it. Just go to obedbay.com and go to the landing pages, click up on the top, it'll say book landing page, and then you can order it the way that you feel best, that works best for you. Listen, you are a champion. It's extremely important that you believe it. Believe it in your heart. Go for it. Never stop, despite any naysayers and dream slayers telling you that you can't do it. Because that dream came to you, didn't come to anybody else. So it belongs to you, doesn't belong to them. They're not supposed to see it. You just proven that you can get it done. All right. Peace and love, man. Extremely proud of you for even sitting down with me, and happy for your support. I want to see and hear from you. Enjoy your Juneteenth. I'm gone. Peace. Design your life. We out of here.